The story of Amos L Jenkins. On the warm spring day, Rhonda Woodward and Amos H. Jenkins were about to become parents. They would never forget that day on March 26, 1837, when Amos L. Jenkins was born. Amos was raised as a patriot in District 5 of the quaint town Landgrove in southern Vermont. All he had known was an area teeming with trees and fields, bird whistles, mooing cows, and brisk mountain air. He had 3 sisters and 1 brother to play with in the endless fields of Landgrove. Rhonda J., Elijah L., Mary E., and Abby J. were their names. He occupied himself as a carpenter. A taste of metal and wood was stamped into his mouth. Little did he know that when he was fighting for his life, he would find comfort of home in that taste. Privates are like pawns to chess. Amos was a private as he fought with the 8th Vermont Infantry in Company H. Amos enlisted with a friend from Landgrove, Hymenaeus with A. Davis. They fought side by side in the same company in infantry. Amos enlisted in the war on December 23, 1861, signing up for his country with one of his old friends. Then he mustered in on February 18, 1862. He stepped down his rickety porch, looking out to see what seemed to be his whole world, viewing horses, gushing water, and calm air, possibly for the last time. His mother was holding a hanky to her face, trying her best to hide her sorrow. His father stood in the doorway, his arms circled around his mother's shoulders, comforting her. He stood tall and looked Amos straight in the eye until he had to turn around and begin his journey. First stop was Brattleboro. Then they all got on a train and headed to New York. From there, they got on ships and headed south. Finally, he fought his first battle on May 1, 1862, the occupation of New Orleans. Port Hudson was one of the battles he fought in. His friends were shot down, and as Howard Coffin said, Port Hudson seemed to turn into a mass of smoke and fire. Coughing from the overwhelming smoke, he struggled to get up, to breathe, and to find his companions. Running over fallen trees and fallen bodies, he hears cries of dying men. All he could see were their eyes, some brown, some blue, but that didn't matter. They all had the same look, scared, like a child without their blanket, but in this case, it was men without their home. He turned around and followed his men. Salt lingered in the air, and that was all he could taste. His ears were blocked by screams and gunshots to hear anything else. No calm streams and no bird whistles. For a second, he forgot why he enlisted. Not to see men die, not to have his heart beat fast, and certainly not to miss his mom and dad. Suddenly, blackness was all there was. Later that day, he woke up to see other men with no limbs, and some were dead. The Union forever, hurrah, boys, hurrah! Down with the traitors, up with the stars. While we rally round the flag, boys, rally once again, shouting the battle cry of freedom. Then it hit him. He realized why he joined. To be a brave American soldier. He wanted to get up, but his wound was awful. Luckily, he recovered and continued to fight until June 22, 1864. Camp life is not good. In a letter that Hymenaeus A. Davis wrote, he said, "It is awful hot here, and it seems as though one would suffocate." As a Vermonter, he was used to frosty weather. Also, Champlain Williams said the soldiers were obligated to subsist on a small allowance of cornmeal and an occasional ration of mule meat. Also, they had a small portable mill but no power. Even though camp life was bad, Amos kept fighting for his country. After he mustered out, he started a family with Carrie Lincoln and his 6 kids. Vermont peace crashed him into an eternal sleep on August 20th, 1916. That means he lived a long life with the ghost of the lethal Civil War haunting him. He also lived a long life with his 6 kids and wife, Carrie Lincoln.